Hey Froggy friends, Kirostyle here, welcome back to Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance. Thank you so much for joining me here on stream. CB, congratulations on being first, welcome in. Hello Ash, hey Kieran, hey Psycho Reaper, hey Trey, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. I know I originally said that today I was going to go back to Unicorn Overlord and that I was going to put this game on a break. And we would come back and fight the Superbosses. However, after beating the game yesterday, I spent a little bit of time looking up things about the other ending of this game as well as the super bosses, and I figured I might as well do it now while it's still fresh in my mind. The reason why I was going to hold off was because, well, I'm a little burnt out on this game, but also because last time I fought the Demi-Fiend and Shiva, it took quite a bit of time for me to prepare to make sure my demons were all with the right abilities, and I had the right setup, and everyone had exactly the correct build for those fights. But considering I've been building my demons pretty well so far this time, I don't think I need as much prep time, so I think we are fine to just go into it. Plus, I've already beaten Shiva and Demi-Fiend before, normally, so I think this time we might try like a fun cheese strat just to see what we can do with this game, because you can do some nutty things in this game if you really try and you're a little creative and spend some time. So we're going to try that. I also found out other information about one of the new super bosses in the game. So I found out I thought I could only fight them on a New Game Plus. Turns out I don't need to be on a New Game Plus to fight them. So we actually have access to the new super boss right now. So I'll talk about that in a bit. Hey Trey, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for 9 months. I really appreciate all your support. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the ending of the game now, so if you are new to this video or just passing by, spoiler warning, I guess. Now's your chance to cover up your ears and not listen to what I'm saying if you care about spoilers. So, spoiler warning, I'm going to talk about the ending of the game, since we beat it yesterday. So yesterday we beat the game, and there are two endings to the game. There's the Law ending and the Chaos ending for the Vengeance storyline. The Law ending is more like Tao's ending, and then the Chaos ending is more like Yoko's ending. So we did Tao's ending, the Law ending, and we fought Tiamat, Tehom, and then Lucifer. So on the Yoko ending, what happens is basically you reach the part where Tao and Yoko kind of ask you to choose between them, which again, you don't really get to choose. It's based on your choices and decisions up until then in the game. And if you choose Yoko, Tao basically kind of, is upset. It kind of looks like you're about to fight her, and then Mastema appears out of nowhere. And Mastema somehow commandeers Tiamat and forces Tiamat to attack you anyways, even though you're with Yoko. So you still have to fight Tiamat regardless of which ending you do. Which I think is good, because that fight actually had some fun mechanics to it, and I think it'd be a shame to miss out on it on the other ending. So you basically still end up fighting Tiamat, and the events that happen afterwards are exactly the same, where you get, Aogami again. Yoko also joins you as a temporary party member. Well, she joins you as a demon. She joins you as Panagia Yoko, just like how you had Panagia Tao, and then Panagia Tao leaves your party. So you do get Panagia Yoko just for a couple fights there, and her moveset's kind of the same as when she was a human, except obviously upgraded to be a higher level demon. But because she joins you right away, right then and there, you don't really get a chance to go and feed her any grimoires, for example. But as a demon, you can later, you have a very small opportunity, I think, where you can go and change some of her skills like you would Tao's. But yeah, so she joins you for a little bit, you fight Tiamat, same thing happens, and then afterwards, instead of fighting Tehom, you just fight Mastema himself. And you do get a little bit of a break, so you can go to the save station, you can save, you can talk to Yoko in the Demon Haunt, you can give her essences or teach her skills or something like that, even though you don't get... Ultimately, it's not a good idea, because just like with Tao, you don't get to keep her forever. Then you fight Mastema, and instead of Tehom. Now, I think that's a little bit of a shame, because Tehom had actually a really cool battle mechanic. Mastema's mechanic, according to what I read, is basically every time you hit him with a weak point, you get he gets one flashing press turn icon for the next turn. So if you hit him with his weak point, and crits also count. So if you hit him with, let's say, 3 weak points, the next turn he gets 3 extra flashing press turns. So the battle could become difficult because he gets a lot of turns. He mainly attacks with light, wind, physical, and almighty. So unlike Tahome and Tiamat, who kind of attack with all elements, he's kind of, if you know ahead of time, you could probably plan pretty well, although the almighty attacks might prove a little bit more troublesome. I also saw that Masuma actually has a really banger battle music track. Tahome did not have that much of an interesting battle track to her fight, but Masuma has a really banging battle track, so it's kind of like not something you would expect from a demon whose design is kind of weird, but apparently a lot of people like him, and he has like a greater role in the SMT universe as a whole lately, so people are interested in him, and you get to learn a little bit of Masuma lore. Once you beat the game with the Chaos ending, or Yoko's ending, you remember her idea was she wanted to destroy the world to free it from the mandala system. Apparently, in the ending, it doesn't make it apparent, but once you beat the game and do New Game Plus, there is dialogue that alludes to the fact that instead of actually destroying the whole universe, you actually only succeed in basically remaking one universe out of many universes and freeing one universe from the mandala system and not all the universes from the mandala system, which is what Yoko wanted. So ultimately, you don't really get what she wanted completely, although everyone seems maybe ignorant to that. I'm not really sure. So that's kind of interesting, and if you want, you can watch that ending on YouTube. I think the only thing noteworthy, I think, for it is the Masuma battle music, because again, I think it feels a little weird to suddenly betray Tao and then work with Yoko, but if you're a big fan of Yoko or whatever, then yeah, go for it. Hey Angora, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Another thing I found out is I actually looked up Tahome's battle mechanics so I can understand them a little better. So basically, I made the note during the battle that every time you hit her with a weakness, next turn she used that element against you, and that is intentional. So if you hit like her wind weakness, next turn she will use the Barian skill of the wind attacks, Zanbarian. Or if you hit her with Mudo, the next turn she will use Mudo Barian. So that was intentional. Basically, if you spend a turn where you do not hit any of her weaknesses, that's when she uses Abyssal Reckoning or Megidolon. So that's why when I was doing it, she used so many Abyssal Reckonings on me and sapped all my MP. That's actually because you're supposed to keep hitting her weaknesses. And if you spend a turn where you don't hit a weakness, like I did, where I just use Piercing skills and Almighty skills and Physical skills, then she resorts to using Almighty attacks and Drain attacks. It's only after you hit every single one of her weaknesses once does she use Inception of Chaos and resets herself. So the flow of the battle really is supposed to be you hit every single weakness, then you do Inception of Chaos, and then she recycles and starts over again. Which I didn't exactly do. I'm glad we saw Inception of Chaos once, but I feel like if you do that, there's a high chance she might overwhelm you with too much damage. So when I did it by taking it slow, you just keep using piercing attacks instead, and which is not really the way you're intended to do the fight, drags out the fight longer, makes you lose more MP, but seems a little bit safer on the HP side, at least from my experience. So I just wanted to mention that, just to correct myself from the last stream, and in case anyone is watching this later and is curious. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, so I mentioned that in the original SMT5, you could only get Danu from the neutral route. Maria turns into Danu to fight you in the neutral route, and you get Danu. But in this playthrough, you can only get Law or Chaos, so you can only get Maria or Inanna. So how do you get Danu? Apparently, people found out if you, like, the point of no return is when you enter the doors at the end to the throne. And apparently, if you go in there with almost a neutral rating, like right between Law and Chaos, then once that's flagged, then if you come back out and do the Maria quest, you can get Danu and Inanna, or Danu and Maria. But you have to be very close to the middle point. And I'm not sure if this is true, but some people said if you go into the throne room with perfectly neutral alignment, then the game does give you a choice to choose between Tao and Yoko. But I'm not sure if that's true. Oh, you're listening to Masuma's theme? Yeah, it's such a banger. What the heck? How come Home did not have a banger theme? It was okay, but it wasn't as good as Mastima's theme. But then, I feel like as a second final boss, Mastima just doesn't look as cool as Home either. Because I don't think he transforms or anything like that, it's just him. So, I don't know, it's a bit of give or take. Anyways, if you're interested in playing this game on the Chaos route, you could try it for yourself. I also want to mention, I mentioned that the side quest where you get Michael or Belial didn't seem to be in Empyrean. In the base game, there's a side quest in Empyrean where you can go and basically recruit Michael if you're on the Law route, or Belial if you're in the Chaos route, or you can choose one or the other if you're in the neutral route. But I didn't see that quest, and apparently it's because in Vengeance, the ending flag is at the throne room and not at the beginning. Oops, haven't been pressing my controller long enough. Apparently in Vengeance, because the flag is at the throne room and not at the beginning of Empyrean, the quest doesn't appear until after you get to the throne room. So basically after you defeat Tiamat, you see it. So if I go to my leyline crossing, you can see now, it isn't even a quest marker, but there's a demon here with a speech bubble to talk to you. And so if you are on the Law route, Melchizedek will be there. If you're on the Chaos route, he won't be there, but if you go to Shakan, then another demon will be there instead. I think it's Neburos. So you can get Michael or Belial, but only after you reach the throne room. So we'll do that today, since we missed it last time. I also mistakenly said that you need to be on New Game Plus to fight the new super boss on Vengeance route, which is Lucifer transformed into Satan. And apparently you don't. Apparently the only thing you need in order to have that side quest appear is you need to have a save clear file saved somewhere on your system, and the game will detect that you've defeated Lucifer at least once. So you can see here where Mastima is, there's actually a new quest. So you don't need to be on New Game Plus for that one, you just need to have save data on your console. So we will do that as well today. Satan's the new super boss who's supposed to be harder than the Demi-Fiend, I think. But we're going to try a new strat on him that might be kind of fun. Once you defeat Satan, then you get Godborn mode, which is the mode that makes your level cap go up to 150, but also makes all the enemies also difficult in the game. So I mistakenly said that you need a New Game Plus for that. Apparently you just need to defeat Satan and then boot up your new game, and then carry over your miracles to your New Game Plus. Anyways, that was a lot of talking. Today we're going to recruit Michael. We're going to defeat Shiva, Demi-Fiend, and Satan all back to back. And again, I've already defeated Shiva and Demi-Fiend on my previous playthrough of this game, so if you want to see me beat them normally, you can go see my old VODs on YouTube. But today, I'm going to try a cheese strat that I looked up that looks kind of fun, and I don't know, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. I did some preparing of my demons before stream just to make sure everyone was fine for the battle. I'm going to talk about it later because we're going to get Michael first. You're also going to notice I have Mara in the party now. And that's because Mara is very integral to this strategy, which I will also explain later. Okay, that's a lot of talking. Let's go accept the Michael quest. Hey Moo, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by today, it's good to see you. Okay, we're gonna go talk to Melchizedek. He should give us the quest to get Michael. Since we're on the Chaos, or since we're on the Law ending, I don't think the Chaos NPC will even be there, Neburos. So we don't really have a choice in this case, like in the base game. Hello game, are you frozen on me? Thank you. And then after we get Michael, I'll explain my strat for the other bosses. Okay, thank you for your help from before. Because of your efforts in gathering the power of the three angels, Lord Michael has been revived. You can find him in the Temple of Eternity. I've no doubt he'll bless you with his power. Please, I urge you to go see him. So I think we probably need to fight him. I think he's weak to, I think, wind. So I'm gonna bring my wind party members. Okay, who else knows wind? And wind is one of the elements I don't have that much representation for. And if you just look in total, there aren't that many like endgame demons that have wind specialty either. Okay, so Michael has the quest marker. So he probably doesn't fight me. He probably tells me to fight Belial. I remember doing this quest in the base game, I just don't remember exactly how it plays out. Hey, Michael, looking as red as ever. Naho Bino, violator of the Lord's condemnation. I am Michael, a seraph in service of God. Melchizedek has told me much about you. I must thank you, Kay. You've done a lot for my sake. Kay, you seek to preserve this world. And for that, I would like to lend you my power. But first, I must ask a favor of you. Strike down Belial, the Red Dragon. Belial's a true monster. Long ago, he was an angel, but chose to stray from the path. He holds power so terrible, it was able to decimate 2 cities. But you have the power to defeat that tyrant. Will you do it? Will you defeat Belial? Glorious blessings upon you, Kay. You must make your way to Shakan, which has been taken over by demons. Belial the Red Dragon appears to be arrogantly searching the inner sanctum. Go and take great care, he must be slain. So, in the base game, you have to go find him in the Demon Lord's castle, but we don't have access to that location. Hey Fate, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by and calling Kirby. I appreciate it. I believe Belial's weak to ice, and ice I also do not have that much representation, but I know Cleopatra and Beelzebub have ice. Oh, and Fion. Although the fight should be a cakewalk. The last room of Shakan's not mapped for me because it was just a cutscene last time we went. I'll save just in case the game like crashes out on me. The game has not crashed on me, surprisingly. There's just been a lot of times where I thought it would. Oh, there he is. See, I mistook Belial for Samael. That's why I thought Samael had a human's face, because Belial does. You are very tall. Well, what have we here? The Nahobino of Law. What business have you here on these godless sacred grounds? Don't answer that. Those angels sent you here to kill me, did they not? Fallen as I am, I, Belial, was once an angel. I know how they think. What fortunate timing. I had come to see if the angels had left anything of value behind, but my efforts thus far have been fruitless. Show me the power of a Nahobino, a true god. I shall burn your entire being out of existence. So, I haven't shown you guys my new Nahobino specs yet, but my Nahobino basically only has Mirakumo now because I just have a bunch of buffing skills. So, this should be pretty strong, but not quite there yet. That was pretty good. Okay, so I'm debilitated right now. I don't think I have Takunda, but I can Luster Candy this.
How do you like this?
It's not very MP efficient, but that's okay. This is a fast fight. Those tasty crits.
This ends now.
Stop debilitating me. You fool. Try to use Dark on Beelzebub.
How I long for true love.
Come on.
What if I frolic him?
You want to watch and gaze upon my beauty.
Also, I found out that if for Beelzebub, he actually, all his debuff skills do 2 stages if there's no Femme, Megami, or Lady in the party. So that's why last time when I was fighting, he actually decreased one of the boss's stages of attack and defense by 2.
This ends now.
Hey Nix, welcome to the stream, it's good to see you. It's been a while, hope you're doing well. Ooh, I got a Fire Sutra, nice. So this is the might of a Nahobino. That is enough, both of you. Neburos, you dare interfere? Belial, I cannot allow that Nahobino to kill you. I've heard this Nahobino possesses techniques of shadow, ones that allow him to fuse demons. I will not allow you to fall into the Nahobino's clutches. It seems our battle's postponed, then. Nahobino, it's a shame, truly a shame. With such power at your disposal, you could easily create a world of your own design. Let us spar again when the world has been remade. We shall take our leave. So this is the game's way of saying you don't get Belial if you get Michael. Same thing if you do with Michael, then Melchizedek appears and then prevents you from obtaining him for fusion. Okay, so now that we've done this, we'll turn in our quest, and then we can start taking on the Superbosses. And I'll describe to you my strategy, my cheese strategy for doing it. Okay, you've done well. The infernal red dragon's presence has vanished. I sense you must have succeeded in your mission. As I had thought, you are the one who will maintain the word of our Lord. You obtained the Exalted Seraphim Periapt. Oh. Oh, this is, you use a skill if you have Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. Okay, that's actually pretty good. As promised, I shall gladly lend you my power in your battle for order. Oh, he just joins me directly. He's good at fire and physical. Light, almighty. Okay, but he comes unfused. Okay, I'm gonna teleport to the location we need to go to for Shiva, and then I'll explain to you my strategy. Well, it's not really my strategy, I didn't come up with it, but there are a lot of strategies for taking on these bosses that are kind of cheese strats, although this one's probably the simplest one. There are some really complex cheese strategies I've seen where it takes you, like, you need to do a lot more setup and have a lot more very specific demons, but this one's pretty forgiving. So first, let us put together our party. I'll just save as well. Okay. So for this build, first, you need to make sure your Nahobino has a +9 in Almighty. And you get that by using Miracles, which we've already had for a while. You need to have Mirakumo. Enduring Soul is optional, but you do need Charge. Now, I decided that I'll put Enduring Soul on, and then I'll use a Charge Gem instead of using Charge as a skill, because I have a bunch of Charge Gems anyways. You need Critical Zealot. So Critical Zealot increases critical damage, but normal damage decreases. Now, I actually looked this up to see if there's numbers for this, and apparently Critical Zealot increases your crit damage by 1.45. Combined with the multiplicative damage of crits, it basically makes your attack 1.95 times stronger if you crit. If you don't crit, it decreases your damage by only 10%, and 10%, that's actually a pretty good trade-off. I thought it would make you, like, hit like a wet piece of paper, but apparently it's only a 10% decrease, so even if you don't crit, you only lose 10% of your power, which is not that bad. I have Bloody Glee and Murderous Glee. These both increase your crit rate. So we're going for crits here, which you saw I critted against Belial a lot more. I already had these two, Almighty Pleroma and High Almighty Pleroma. They're going to make Murakumo stronger. And then you need some kind of physical resistance, whether it's Null Physical, Repel Physical, or Absorb Physical. Null Physical is easy to get. Absorb Physical you could only get from Nuwa, and Repel Physical you could only get from Abdiel. Repel Physical is the best one, but if you're playing Canon of Creation, then depending on your ending route, you only get Abdiel if you did the Law ending on New Game Plus, and you only get Nuwa if you do Neutral ending New Game Plus. So if you're playing Chaos route in the base game, then you can't have access to these. You'll need to use Null Physical, which also makes it a little bit more RNG, but that's okay. But if you're playing Vengeance, you have access to all of them. And again, you need Charge, but you can use a Charge Gem instead. I chose to use Enduring Soul just in case all the super bosses open up with one of their attacks of their own, and there's a chance that they can crit you, so at least Enduring Soul will save me a Whittled Goat. Next up, you need any demon who casts Luster Candy. I'm using Demeter because she actually had a bunch of skill slots I was going to get rid of anyways, while a lot of my other Luster Candy demons have really good skills and I didn't know what else to put on them. You need Luster Candy, and you need Repel Physical. Again, Null Physical and Absorb Physical is also fine. And Enduring Soul is optional, but again, it helps get rid of some of the RNG. So, Enduring Soul, Repel Physical, Luster Candy. Next, you need Cleopatra. So, you need to have her specifically. She needs to use Frolic, her signature skill, which you guys just saw me use against Belial, the one that makes her, you know, charm the enemy, but it also lowers their attack and defense by 2 ranks for 3 turns. Again, Repel Physical and Enduring Soul, which is optional as well. You can also see I also gave her ailment affinity up to +9 with my sutras, because she's using Frolic and that's one of the best skills in the game, and I don't have any other demons I specifically build for ailment, so I don't really need it on them. She already had a +5 in healing and support from my carryover file. I also gave a +5 healing on Demeter, Konohana Sakuya, and Eden as well, because I had a bunch of extra sutras. Now Mara, you need, and it has to be Mara, unfortunately, because of his innate skill, Fear of Death. When Omagatoki effect is active, users' attacks with positive skill potential will deal increased damage and may insta-kill. So in other words, that's why I need the +9 Almighty on the MC, not only to make my Almighty skill stronger, but because Mara will make it stronger as well. The other reason why you need Mara is because of his Omagatoki skill, his Magatsui skill, Omagatoki Savage. All skills of allies will cost twice MP, but deal double damage for 1 turn. In addition, he also needs Repel Physical, and Enduring Soul is optional. Now, if you've been paying attention to what I'm saying, I think you're probably starting to formulate exactly what my plan here is. I also threw some extra physical sutras on Odin, just so he has my strongest physical skill. I also put some electrical ones onto Zeus, and wind onto Nuwa, just because they're my strongest in those respective elements. I don't know who to give my ice ones to. I don't want to give them to Nahobiho, but I don't have an ice specialist, unless you count Gabriel. Oh yeah, and I gave dark specialty to Beelzebub. Oh no, I was going to, but I didn't. Now the other piece of the puzzle for this... Actually, let's go into the Cathedral of Shadows, or the World of Shadows.
Oh. Welcome to the...
Just want to look at the miracles. Now, I bought a bunch of miracles here that I didn't have before for increasing Magatsuhi gain. I don't need them for these battles, they'll just speed up between battles, and honestly, I should have bought them before we faced Tiamat, because I have a bunch of extra glory. We also have some new miracles from beating the game, or from starting the law ending. Inheritance Violation. A demon's starting skills can be overwritten during skill inheritance, so that's useful. Rank Violation. Level limitation for demon fusion is lifted. That's pretty good. These only cost 10, I might as well buy them.
You wished.
I don't really need any of these. I mean, Healer's Hospitality is useful, but I don't need it right now.
Return.
Okay, the last piece of the puzzle is... Or, there's 2 last pieces of puzzles. One, you need to respec your Nahobino and put all your points into strength. So I have 3 New Testament tablets from New Game Plus, or from carryover data, but you can get them pretty easily. And basically, the more times you replay the game, the more stats you have to reallocate, because you can't reallocate all the points. You don't regain the ones that you get by leveling up. But every time Aogami talks to you at the bench, you get points that carry over anyways. So these are my stats right now at base. I had a bunch of points in strength, and then I put some into vitality. So now we're going to put everything into strength. I have 144 points. You're basically aiming to have your strength between 150 and 175, but better, more is always better. So we're just gonna go. I thought there might be a cap on this, but I bet the cap's probably like 999 because holy moly, I can buff my strength up to 220, which is ridiculous. So put all my points into strength, and lastly, I'll just do that for the... I have my Magatamas turned on. Lastly, this strat only really works on all the super bosses at low difficulty, unfortunately. If you want to do cheese strats on higher difficulties, you can, but they require a lot more setup. Even the Demi-Fiend is really hard on anything except for the lowest difficulty, and in fact, putting him up at hard mode, I think it took people months to beat him when the game first came out. So casual difficulty is the lowest difficulty when you get the game. Safety difficulty is actually even easier, and it's actually a free DLC. So your game does not come with safety difficulty normally. Oh, I forgot, you can't actually use hard mode anyways if you didn't start your game on hard mode to begin with. So we're gonna switch it to safety difficulty. Safety makes it so you deal more damage and take less damage. And I don't feel bad about doing this because I have beaten Shiva and the Demi-Fiend normally on my original playthrough, so this is just for fun. But again, if you're interested in watching me talk about those battles and doing them normally, you can check out my old videos. Now, unfortunately for Satan, the new super boss, I have not fought him before, but I want to try the cheese strat on him because apparently it works on him too. So Shiva was the first super boss in the base game, and he's pretty strong. You get him as a summon after. And he doesn't really have like super strict mechanics, so I'll use him to show off my strat, and hopefully it works, and then if it does work, we will try it on the Demi-Fiend. There is a mysterious entrance. It seems to be connected to a different space. You can sense the presence of a powerful demon just up ahead. Will you enter? Yes. I am Shiva, the benevolent god of destruction. You are the rumored Nahobino. I was wondering who it could be. What are you doing here? Do you not seek the throne? Well, it matters not. The world will be destroyed along with the rest of the universe anyways. Hear me, Nahobino. You quarrel over the throne, fighting over the right to rule. But those who create the world by their own conscience will bring about nothing but corruption. The world should not be created by a given being. Rather, it is the beings that should be created by the world. The creator god Brahma will return the universe to its rightful form. To that end, I, Shiva, will commence destruction, for the sake of creation. And I shall do so with my secret art, the Rudra Astra.
Yes.
I have nothing more to say. You may go. Oh, maybe I should have done this with Tsukuyomi so I can actually hear what he says. Oh well. It's probably not that different. So Shiva aims to destroy this world after all. I propose we take down Shiva, but I detect a volume of Magatsui I've never seen in other demons we've encountered. Okay, are you prepared to fight? Universe in peril.
You dare challenge me, fool?
You could have walked away with your life. Very well, I've finished preparations and have enough Magatsui for Rudra. Next is the banquet. Come, show me your Kathakali of battle. Okay, so I won't explain Shiva's mechanics in detail, but basically he summons a bunch of allies, and depending on the demon allies on the field, when you kill one, he'll summon more of them, but whenever there's no demon allies on the field, he'll cast a really strong almighty attack, which you want to avoid. He will cast it first on the first turn anyways, but we're going to kill him before the first turn if our strategy works. So first, we need to use a charge gem, or use charge.
Here.
Next, we use Luster Candy to buff ourselves. Next, we use Frolic to debuff him.
You want to watch? Then gaze upon my beauty.
Now you get Mara to use Omagatoki Savage. And that doesn't use up his turn. Then you pass Mara's turn, and then you use Murakumo. Now if we've done this right, Murakumo should do a ton of extra damage because Magatsui Savage makes it so that this costs double MP but deals a ton of extra damage. Mara makes our Murakumo stronger because we have a +9 in Almighty. We have high Almighty Pleuroba and Almighty Pleuroba. We also have Critical Zealot, Bloody Glee, and Murderous Glee. So this should do like 99,999 damage, I think, if it crits. If it doesn't crit, it'll do less damage. But I think we might be able to kill him anyways. Let's see. Holy moly! That was pretty good. That felt pretty good. And again, you can only do this on Vengeance because the original game did not have innate skills, and Mara has an innate skill that you need.
Indeed.
That felt really good. That was a splendid dance, was it? You've defeated me. I shall now disappear from this universe. The Rudra can appear in many forms. Overcome them all and break free. That is the path of the true ruler. It's funny that it gives you 3 Gospels, because Gospels level up your Nahobino, but you're probably level 99 when you face him. I know he's recommended 96, but realistically, who would be 96 going into this? Okay, so this should work against the Demi-Fiend. The Demi-Fiend has about 90,000 HP, and we did just less than 90,000, but there is something that we can do to shore up the rest of that damage, which I will talk about when we do that fight. That was pretty cool. Okay, that felt good. When I fought him the first time, it took like an hour. It was like an hour-long fight. Actually, I think it was less than an hour when I fought him the first time. We're also gonna fuse him because he's also a really good demon. How terrifying Nahobino is.
Oh.
You just like destroy the most powerful gods in the world, and then you
Welcome
make
to
them
the world of shadow.
into your allies. So Tandava is his special skill. It's a severe almighty attack to all foes, lowers defense to the minimum for 3 turns. So kind of like Frolic, but only debuffs defense. There's really nothing good that he can... Oh, he can inherit Abyssal Masks. That's good. I guess I'll just take whatever his skills were. None of these are really useful. I guess I can give him... Zombarian as a little placeholder. Oh, what's his innate skill? While an active party, reduces MP cost of skills for allies with an active charge effect. Wins Yabusame Shot, High Almighty Pleroma, and Boon Boost EX.
Is this demon to your liking?
I lend you my power. Indeed.
Now do you see? The way of the ascetic bears fruit, but not on command. Let's give him this. You don't need concentrate. While we have him here, let's give him some essences. So he's weak to ice, let's give him some null ice. Okay, let's give him Yabusame Shot. We'll take away the Abyssal. No, we'll take away. Oh no, we already took away Yanbarian. Okay, we'll take away Maziobarian.
How is this?
And then we'll also give him Almighty Pleroma, because basically his only thing is to cast Tandava, so I don't really need these. We just need to make his Almighty as strong as possible. Now, unfortunately, Tandava's not good against Satan, but that's fine. Luster Candy, Fierce Roar, Media Rahan. I'll give you this one. So Tandava will keep... I don't think I need Hades Blast. I can take Yabusame Shot. Take Almighty Pluroma and High Almighty Pluroma, Null Ice. We'll replace Maragi Barian with Boon Boost EX.
How is this? Are you ready? Return.
Hey Aru, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by today. Now, I'm going to show you Shiva's attack since you guys didn't get to see it in battle. And we also need to fill up our Magatsuhi gauge before we take on the Demi-Feed, because we need a full Magatsuhi gauge going into the battle. So that's why I bought a bunch of miracles that increase my Magatsuhi rate. Maybe we'll turn on some Magatamas too. So you guys can see. There we go, some targets. Oh, my Magatsuki is already at 40%. Oh, that is so much damage. Okay, I'll show you Tandava. Pretty good, huh? I guess I'll also show you Fires of Sinai since we only saw that as an enemy skill. Wow, our Magatsuhi gauge is already almost full. I thought would need to make a cut in the video. But we might as well just go ahead. This is also my favorite place to farm, because I just start from Shinobazu Pond, and then just do a lap around the block. It's perfect. So when you turn on the experience Mitamas, the red ones give monster grimoires, and then the black ones give Nahubino gospels, but we don't need gospels, so that's why I'm not going after the black shaped Mitamas. I can't believe I filled up my gauge already. That was incredible. Okay, let's go take on the Demi-Fiend. Okay, so we'll set up our party. It's the same strat as before. Luster Candy, Frolic, and then Omagatoki Savage. Now, I'll explain a little bit for those who don't know how the Demi-Fiend works, because it's actually a pretty interesting fight. So the Demi-Fiend is the main character of Shin Megami Tensei V, another very well-known character, and he's been in a lot of these games as the super boss. So he was the super boss in Digital Devil Saga as well, and that's notoriously one of the hardest fights ever in any RPG history on hard mode. I think people took like hours and hours and hours to beat him. And I'm not even talking about like trying for hours. I mean like a single battle with him from start to finish would take hours if you're successful. The interesting thing about the Demi-Fiend is because he's the main character of his game, in most games where you fight him as a super boss, the music that plays is the normal battle theme of SMTV. So the joke is like he's so powerful that when we see him, we're like, oh no, we hear boss music. And then from his perspective, we're just a normal enemy mob. He's like, what boss music? It's very kind of clever storytelling just with using music, because he doesn't talk, right? But it's a way to establish him as being such a strong character in the universe. Basically what he does is he summons a bunch of his demon allies, and you need to kill one of his demon allies every... I can't remember what it is, like... every, like, 6 press turns or something like that. And if you don't, he wipes your party. So you can't just ignore the ads. You actually gotta kill his ads. But you need to be strategic about it, because if you kill one of them, you should probably wait as close as you can before he enrages to kill the next one. So you might want to like whittle them all down and then just kind of kill them as you need instead of trying to focus on each one, because otherwise you never get a chance to hit him. He also nulls like almost every element and resists the ones that he doesn't null. He mostly uses really powerful physical attacks and almighty attacks. The problem is that if you have an entire party that completely negates physical attacks, then he enrages and wipes you. So even though repel physical, absorb physical, and null physical are good, if you have your entire party set up like that, he will one-shot you. Basically saying like, he's like, hey, if you don't want to play fair, I'm not going to play fair. So he'll do that. So it's always nice to have one demon in the party that has resist physical instead of null physical or absorb or repel, to basically bait him into not wiping your entire party at once. When I did it, I made my Nahobino resist physical and everyone else null, because in that way I would always have someone in the party that resisted instead of accidentally pulling out an entire party of null. You could basically bait him into attacking whichever demon has resist, because he'll go for them first. The other thing is that he also will use attacks that cause ailments on you and insta-kill on you, so that's why you need everyone to have Abyssal Mask as well. Now, my Nahobino doesn't have Abyssal Mask right now because we're doing a one-turn strat. The other tricky thing about him is that at 50% HP, he will use Media Rahan, which will fully heal himself and all his demons, but he will only cast it once. So effectively, it makes his HP go from, 90,000, give or take, to an extra, 50% more. That also means that if you're in the middle of killing any of his demons at the time and they're not dead, and he casts it, they get healed back to full, and if he's close to it in a rage, if he's close to his, whatever it is, 6 turns or whatever, then there's a very high chance that if you can't kill his demon in 1 turn, he'll just wipe you. So there's actually a lot of strategy going into this. In addition, his demon allies will do things like buff you, debuff you, try to do ailments on you, hit your weaknesses, all sorts of annoying things. If you use more than 2 or 3, I think it's 3 buffs at a time, or 3 debuffs at a time, they'll use Dekaja and Dekunda as well. So you can't just spam debuffs, and Tandava and Frolic will cause them to cast that a lot. Now, we're using our one-turn strat. Basically, he opens up, every time you start the fight, he always starts with his turn. He'll summon his demon allies, and he'll do an AoE physical attack on all of you. So my party, everyone has repel physical. So on his very first turn, when he uses that physical attack, it's just going to get reflected back on him and do a chunk of damage. And it's going to make him miss the rest of his turn. Normally having all of us repel would mean that he would use a wipe skill on us, but because we're going in on turn 1, he has a fixed rotation for turn 1. Basically, that reflect damage is going to shore up the difference between our damage and his 90,000, because you saw when I hit Shiva, I did like 87,000 damage. That's not enough to one-shot the Demi-Fiend, but the reflect damage will shore it up. When I hit Shiva, I did not crit, so if I critted, I would have done more than 87,000 damage. So if you get a crit, you're in the clear, but if you don't get a crit, you need the repel damage. So if you don't have repel physical on everyone, if you only have null or absorb physical because you don't have Abdiel on your playthrough, depending on your endings, then you need to just pray for a crit. Okay, let's give it a shot, and when we beat him, we'll get his essence, and he'll join us as a guest party member. He only joins you as a guest in Vengeance mode, because Vengeance mode is the only mode that has guest party members. Which also means you can talk to him in the Demon Haunt, although his fairy does the talking for him. If you don't know, in SMT3, the very first demon that joins you is a fairy, just like in this game. But if you keep that fairy for the rest of the game, and fulfill certain conditions, that fairy can become a super fairy, which is basically a regular fairy with like incredible stats and skills. So he often brings the fairy with him as his mouthpiece because he doesn't talk. He's a silent protagonist. And a lot of people draw fan art of the Nahobino and the Demi-Fiend together as friends because they have so much in common. Their games are basically almost the same. Although usually people think of the Demi-Fiend as the Chaos one and the Nahobino as the Law one, or the Divine one, while he's like the Fiend. When I first fought him, the fight took like an hour and a half to beat him normally. And his battle theme is a remix of the SMT battle theme.
Oh, wow! And that albino really did make it all the way here, huh? I know what you're after. You gathered all those menorahs so you can go toe-to-toe with the Demi-Fiend. Is that it? Well, I hope you're ready. He's a tough one, you know.
Well, we reflected like 40,000 worth of damage back on him, and he got confused. And we skill sealed him, that's actually incredible. Skill seal is the only way to avoid his Meteor Rahan, but very few demons are able to do it consistently. I use Garuda usually. Okay, we'll use the charge gem.
This'll do.
Monster Candy. Frolic.
You want to watch? Then gaze upon my beauty.
And then Omagatoki Savage. Pass. And then now Mirakumo. Oh, get wrecked! The glory of the Lord is upon me. You obtained 666666 Baka. Inspiration strikes, he? God has blessed me, ho.
Didn't think you'd actually beat him. Okay, here. This is for you.
Well then, best of luck with whatever it is you're trying to do. I get the feeling you want us to join you. Am I right or am I right? Well, you're gonna have to ask him yourself. I've got a good feeling about his answer. So you can fight him again if you want. Invite him. Oh, he doesn't even say anything. Guest characters, Demi-Fiend. The Demi-Fiend can accompany you as a guest character, allowing him to fight alongside you and use items in battle. If he joins you, he'll make for a powerful ally. Note that he will temporarily leave your party when fighting him in the Hall of Chaos, so you can't use him against himself. Ooh. You can use the Magatsui skill Big Bang, severe level based almighty attack to all foes. Ooh, we need to try that. Will you face the Demi-Fiend? No. So you can just come back and just fight him whenever and get more of his essences. Let's have a look at him. Actually, let's look at his essence. Freykugel, Gaia Rage, Javelin Rain, Deadly Fury, Chaotic Will. Basically a bunch of unique skills. Gaia Rage, Javelin Rain, Deadly Fury. Those are all attacks from SMT3. And Chaotic Will. And then let's look at him as a party member. Oh, you kicked out Demeter. So he comes with 999 HP and 999 MP. He renulls everything. And his stats are 99 in everything. He has a +8 skill potential in everything, or +4 in healing and support. Basically, the max number -1. Innate skill, Ruler of Chaos. Foes' innate skills do not trigger when user attacks. Counterattacks are triggered, or counterattacks triggered by innate skills do not trigger afterwards. So if you hit someone and they counterattack him, it won't trigger. He knows Freykugel, Gaia Rage, severe physical attack to all foes, ignores affinity resistance and pierces. Javelin Rain, severe physical to all foes, chance of inflicting seal. Deadly Fury, medium physical to one foe, always lands critical hits. Chaotic Will, a chance of insta-kill to all foes. Foes' press turn icons will be halved next turn. Meteorahan, full HP recovery to all allies, high physical, proba, enduring soul. His Magatsui skill, he has a Magatoki critical, Big Bang, severe level-based almighty attack to all foes, and Fountain of Chaos. Severe level-based almighty attack to all foes and removes one press turn icon from foes next turn. We're gonna need to try all of these. I think it's so funny how he's just wearing normal pants too. Like, I get his backstory. You're just a regular student that gets turned into a demon, so he's still wearing pants. But then the fact that he ascends to becoming, like, basically the Lord of the Fiends and possibly, like, the strongest being in all of the SMT universe, and he's still wearing just these regular pants. Kind of funny. Okay. We have one more super boss to take out. Before we do that, we need to farm Magatsuhi. And I want to show off the Demi-Fiend's special skills. Shiva in the party. We'll put Metatron. Just get a bunch of almighty users so we can farm Magatamas. We'll also try talking to him at the Demon Haunt. I'll just save again here. Let's take our new friend for a spin. Okay, Freikugel's even though Freikugel is like his signature powerful skill from SMT3, it's a normal attack in this game, so a lot of my other demons have it. Let's do this one. This one's one foe. Oh, and this one doesn't pierce. Never mind. Actually, this is the only one that pierces. Ooh. That was so powerful and I didn't even buff it. I mean, in the original game, even if you were to get him, which he can't join you in that one, there'd be no one to use him against. But here, at least we have another super boss we can take him against. These ones don't pierce. Try Freikugel. It's so funny, it's just a mouth beam. Where'd the other enemy go? They ran away. I don't want the Magatama. We need regular enemies for him to pierce. I already have my Magatsuhi full, that's crazy. Okay, let's try Big Bang. Actually, no, I need to try that against a Magatama because it pierces. Javelin Rain. I didn't even see an animation for that. I remember Javelin Rain had a cool animation in SMT3. He does like a flip kick. Let's try out some let's try his Magatsuhi attacks. Big Bang. It's just a big Megidolon. This one's single target, okay. Hey, Timbit! Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for the raid today. We're doing well. Let's your shout out. Thanks so much for coming by. I really appreciate you sharing your audience with me. Hope you had a great stream today. What were you playing? Please join us in following Timbit Hyrian when you get a chance. Well, it says you also subbed to me like an hour ago. Oh no, wait, no, I'm misreading it. That was someone else. I thought I missed it, sorry. But thank you so much, Timbit. I really appreciate you being here. We're playing some Shin Megami Tensei V. Just playing around with our new party member before we take on the last super boss of the game. Feel free to sit back and make yourself comfortable, or go take care of yourself after your stream. I really appreciate you being here, and for your constant support. Okay, let's try Deadly Fury. Okay, it doesn't really have a unique animation. Oh, you're playing Teamfight Tactics. That was fun. Did you have a good time? Okay, let's try Chaotic Will. This one, he also uses it against you. Basically just insta-kills anyone that doesn't have resistance to it. instantly kills him. Oh, Magatsuyu's skill is full again. Let's try his other skill. Fountain of Chaos. Severe level, almighty attack all foes, removes buffs. Removes one press turn icon from foe's next turn. Who's that was laughing? Was that the pixie? That wasn't Demi Fiend. Okay. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's just farm up our Magatsuyi gauge and then we can take on the last super boss. The stream's probably gonna be a bit shorter than intended, but that's okay. I didn't realize that Gamagog from the side is actually like kind of thin. I thought he was just wide on all sides because of the way his model's built. I wish Demi Fiend had like a special Magatsui skill with Nahobino where they like work together. That'd be cool. Again, I do recommend you watch a YouTube video of all the different joint Magatsui skills, because we've only seen... Actually, the only one I showed you guys was Demeter and Zeus, which was kind of sweet. But there's some really cool ones in the game. Like the Black Frost, Jack Frost, and King Frost one is pretty good, too. So the thing is, with his essence, I can teach all those skills to my Nahobino too. Although, they're all really cool, but I just don't have enough skill slots. So it's nice that I can have the Demi Fiend be the proxy to use that in the meantime. Okay, let's talk to everyone at the Demon Haunt, and then we'll take on the last super boss.
Yes.
It seems you've accomplished many noble feats with that godly strength of yours. If you were to come to Egypt, I bet you could restore it to its former glory. Consider it, won't you? Or force potential went up.
Correct.
New strength unfolds within me like a flower in the desert. Caesar and Antony both died and left me behind. I would do anything to prevent you from following in their footsteps.
Say.
Such admirable dedication. Perhaps I should put in a little effort myself.
Say.
This form certainly allows me to use more sheer power than I'm able to use my human form. Be that as it may, my human form has its own advantages. Which do you prefer? Your power is most impressive, enough at least to satisfy me, the previous ruler Baal. Very well, I pledge to assist you with all my strength, so you may ascend the throne. Ooh, sweet, his force potential went up. Ah, how delightful. Even now, I'm still discovering new powers. I love it when their affinities go up, because otherwise you need to use sutras. Even in these less than grand surroundings, you'll find I'm always immaculately dressed. A true gentleman always takes care of his appearance, no matter where he finds himself. I forgot to mention yesterday when I was reviewing the game, but I do like the demon haunts. Just they give the demons extra personality. They had to go through the game and write lines for all of them. Even though a lot of them use the same lines as each other, some of them are kind of unique.
Pardon me?
I must hold nothing back if I'm to be worthy of my master. Plus, it just, makes them more charming and feels more like part of your team.
Right.
Seems like the time's come. You want to see more power? Just watch. Even here in the netherworld, I can feel Mother's pulse, weak though it is. This place has been cut from the Mother Earth of the mortal realm. A vestige of Mother, in other words. It will be a simple feat for me to gain more power, should I desire it. Know your demon allies well. You'll find their powers quite useful in battle.
Young man.
It's been some time, young man. I'm glad we have the chance to talk like this again. And I can only thank Tsukuyomi for watching over you in my place. I know we are past needing words to understand each other, but truly, I feel like I am back where I belong.
Let us go, young man.
This will be our final confrontation. This mysterious speaker awaits us. Oh, I thought I got all the Algami conversations last time, but I guess I didn't come back to the Demon Haunt before Lucifer. I want to see the Demi-Fiend in here, though. Let me show you what I've learned from our travels together.
Yeah.
Instead of being proud of how many enemies we defeated, I'd rather be proud of how many enemies I've made into fans. I don't know why they decided to make her an idol girl. It's kind of funny. Fear not destruction. This dance is merely one facet of the swirling of the cosmos. Just as all things are born, all things must be destroyed. Flowers must bloom to manifest their allure. Likewise, my power must flourish.
Well,
If the netherworld were a seed, what sort of flower do you suppose would grow from it? And who would be the one to make that flower bloom? Oh, Algami, you still have more to talk to me?
Yes.
Fighting alongside you reminds me of the war 18 years ago. Back then, Bethel, Japan's forces were struggling in battle. My fellow Algami-type proto-fiends all fell in combat. I count myself lucky that I survived to meet you. Oh, there's the Demi-Fiend. Looking at you both, you seem like total opposites. In some ways, but kind of similar in others. He changed from a human to a demon. You changed from a human to a god. But then you both had to fight to survive in a world filled with demons. It's weird, but this might be the team up of a lifetime. So whenever you talk to him, gives you like a mini cutscene. In fact, this might be the only line that he has, because he doesn't get stat points and stuff like Tao does, or like Yoko. Okay, let's go confront the next super boss. We will use the same strategy. Wait, I still have more demon haunt conversations. How many of them are there? Oh, hi, Mara. I like how I can hear the creaking of his wheels. It would be a simple feat for me to gain more power should I desire it. Well, well, inspiration strikes. This will be glorious indeed. Take this opportunity to feast on the pleasures of my ravishing form. Don't overlook the smallest vein. Ugh. I wish I did not read that.
Say,
On further reflection, I seized the power to rule more quickly than you did. Worry not, I have no intent to steal anything from under you. I shall lend you this power that you might stand as our next ruler.
Perfect!
During Thesmophoria, a festival held in my honor, the women attending would exchange amusing anecdotes with one another. The tradition began when humans would share funny stories to make me smile again, when there was no spring to make my smile bloom. I think you should have such a festival too. Well, Algami, how many extra conversations do you have? I know we have to catch up, but do you not have them all at once? Dot is the hidden Sephira in the Tree of Life. It's said finding that place allows one to understand God's will. Having traveled all over Dot, do we now understand him, even having only just learned the throne's purpose?
I say.
What a terrible tragedy that this land, once teeming with life, should now be barren and desolate. I am depending on you to restore to prosperity and ensure flowers shall dance in the breeze once more.
Say.
Since you got such a nice place like this, why not use it to throw a banquet? Just leave the planning to me and I'll show you a banquet worth 10 million sesterti. If Algami keeps coming back with more conversations, I wonder if there's even more. Okay. Oh no, there's no more.
Oh,
What are those strange objects on your feet? They look like they can be used for tilling the soil. It's called fashion. Your gaze is quite unique. It's so different from the way nasty men leer at me. It's like you're assessing my worth as an ally. Your eyes are so cold, it puts me on edge.
what to do?
I never held any illusions that this relationship of ours would last forever. I wonder how and when this partnership will meet its end. Oh, I can't see. Now we're taking ourselves a little break. You got all the time you want to feast your eyes on my handsome figure. Not bad, eh?
hey!
I heard there's an animal in the human world called a gorilla that can crush an apple in its bare hand. I'm kind of curious if it could do that with a golden apple too. Okay, Eden. I'm surprised I'm still getting like new dialogue for demons like her, who I actually had for a while.
Astounding. I sense an entirely new power within you. One I have never sensed before. I am certain this is why the menorah found its way into your hands. Now, Nahobino, use this newfound power and make for the throne. This world can place nothing more between you and your ambition. Abide by the great will and create a new world.
I kind of want to see if I can teach Shiva Freikugel. I don't know if I have a Freikugel thing. Oh, I can use Sandalphons. Oh, Asura learns it too. Oh, I forgot. Nahobiho uses it too. Because I don't need Miragi Barian, but I need at least one source of damage that doesn't debuff. Actually, let's put Freikugel right underneath it.
How is this?
I also want to give my almighty sutras to Shiva. I don't have too many almighty sutras. I would give them more to Metatron and or I can't give them to myself, but I don't have enough to give to both. And Huang Long. I only have enough to make it go up to +7. But that should also decrease the price of Tandava for MP and increase its damage. Okay, let's go take on this super boss. I'll explain about the super boss. Oh, I should register my demons. Did I register my demons after giving him the Destruction Sutras? I don't think so. Again, I probably should have carried over my Shiva from my original playthrough, because he probably got like a +9 in Almighty.
What? Are you... Return...
Okay, so you remember there's this Mastema here. Now remember, this is not the real Mastema. This is like a projection of him. The reason why they made it a projection is because, well, if you do the Law route, you actually don't see him after you come back from Shikan. And if you do the Yoko route, you actually kill him. So that's why this Mastema is technically just a projection of himself, which gives you the quest for Samael. So you need to finish the Samael quest, and you need to have a clear data somewhere on your system file. And then he'll have this quest, which reveals some lore about himself and puts you against the new super boss, who is only available on the Vengeance route, Satan. The other super boss, Masakata, we can't fight unless we're on Canon of Creation and have done a Canon of Vengeance beforehand. So we won't be fighting Masakata because I'm not going through Canon of Creation again. Now the Satan fight is actually kind of cool. I guess I'll explain the mechanics when we encounter him, but I'm going to use the same strat against him as we've been doing today. Now, because he's new, unlike Shiva and the Demi-Fiend, I do not have prior experience to fighting him, so it almost feels like a shame to cheese through it, but I kind of want to just get it over with for now. But maybe in the future, if I revisit this game, I will fight him normally, just to see if I can do it, which I probably can, but apparently I don't think he's harder than the Demi-Fiend, but his battle is different, and also is more drawn out. His is a little bit more of a battle of attrition than the Demi-Fiend. Although people say he's harder than the Demi-Fiend, I don't think he has as many mechanics. I think you just gotta outlast him, really. I've only briefly read what his mechanics were since I don't need to pay attention to them, so I'll explain them best as I can once we get into the fight.
Hear me.
Okay, I just finished making preparations. As it so happens, there is another duty that our Lord has entrusted me with. Allow me to inform you of it. The Lord showed me a vision of events that occurred in a world separate from our own.
Splendid.
In this vision, I witnessed the slaying of a transcendent Lucifer, and the world was thusly freed from the system that governed it. Oh, he's talking about what we did last stream. He's looking into our other save file. He had been slain by you, a you from another space-time, a Nahobino of another world.
Hear me.
Do you see this? It is a remnant of the Lucifer from that world. Our Lord entrusted it to me as proof of what transpired there. Mastema absorbed the remnant of Lucifer. Ew, I don't like the sound he just made.
Yes?
Next, look at this. A remnant of Samael, who you have defeated. You soundly dispatched the Serpent King, that enemy of God, just as I hoped. Your work was most splendid. Mastema absorbed the remnant of Samael.
Oh, Lord in heaven.
Our Lord commanded me to destroy the 4 aberrations summoned by the Serpent King, and to test the aberration impelled by the Serpent of Light. I trust you now understand that the Creator is no longer the Lord I serve. So I guess the plot twist is, because this whole time Mastima's been kind of like the secret police of Bethel, but it turns out he wasn't even serving their god. My own remnant as God's malice, Samael's remnant as God's poison, Lucifer's remnant as God's light. I offer these 3 remnants to the adversary so that I may manifest his presence, Satan. I am Satan, the original angel, summoned by transcendence itself. I shall become your opponent and test your worth. Are you resolved to face this trial? I acknowledge your will. I shall await you in the primordial land. Come to me. So Satan's not new to the SMT universe, but this design they used for him in this game is new. So just like the other Superbosses, he will summon demon allies of his own. After a few turns, he will absorb one of them, and he'll heal himself based on their HP, and he'll also change his weaknesses according to their weaknesses, and then he'll also use their Magatsui skill. So each demon he has their own Magatsui skill. When he absorbs them, he will use their Magatsui skill. So you can kind of control which one he absorbs by killing off the others, and then kind of force him into using certain skills. But they're all pretty powerful, although there's a couple of them that also heal him to full, so you don't want those ones to be the ones that he absorbs. So it can go wrong really quickly. Some of them cause ailments, some of them do a lot of damage, all sorts of things. Other than that, it's mostly just outlasting him. Also, if you do any debuffs or status effects on him, he basically just counterattacks with a one-shot kill to the character. Which means that if I use Frolic against him, Cleopatra's just gonna die. But I think she should still be able to use Frolic before she dies. And then, same with, if you use Tandava on him, then Shiva will just die because he'll one-shot you back. At least that's what it sounds like. He also opens the attack with a really strong move that has a chance of critting, and if it crits anyone, they might die. So that's why I have Enduring Soul on everyone as well. Otherwise, you have to depend on RNG. Let's give it a shot. At least I really hope that when he one-shots Cleopatra back, her debuff still stays unless he cleanses it. Should you utilize that entrance, you shall find me in the primordial land. Come. And I think you can actually fuse him afterwards as a reward. Because you can't fuse Tehom or Tiamat. Doesn't he look cool? I am Satan, the original angel summoned by transcendence itself, and judge of all beings. Nahobino, you have freed another world from the clutches of the Mandala system. Yet amidst the countless other worlds, your deeds are trifling. They have not had the slightest effect on the whole of the system. Oh, okay, so this is where he reveals that even if you freed one world from the Mandala system, it doesn't actually solve the problem. However, your actions have revealed new possibilities that cannot be ignored.
I shall test you.
Therefore, I shall judge on behalf of the system. Now come, Nahobino, show me your power. Ooh. This is a banger. Okay, same strategy.
Here.
I think he's gonna kill Cleopatra in retaliation for this, but that's fine.
You want to watch, then gaze upon my beauty.
Oh, he didn't one-shot her. And he got charmed. Okay, take this. Oh, that did not one-shot him. That did not one-shot him. We have to fight him normally now. We have to fight him normally now.
How about this?
I got him down to like 50%. Let's see if we can do this without a proper guide. Actually, should I be killing his allies? I actually need to double check this now. Because I remember one of the demons you should not leave on the field. Okay, Hariti will fully heal him. That's not good. Fafnir does a lot of damage. Okay, once every 3 turns, he absorbs a minion to recover HP, and his Magatsui's skill will change into whatever he absorbs. If he absorbs Hariti or Sarasvati, his HP will be fully restored, so you should defeat them right away. Oh, maybe he doesn't use the counterattack on this difficulty level. Okay, we need to defeat Hariti. I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take Cleopatra and Mara out, because they're so integral to my strategy that I can't have them killed. So we'll just swap them out for other people until we're ready. Demonor's not as important, I just need anyone that you can use Luster Candy. And then I'll swap Mara out.
Let's go.
Makatsui's already at half. Oh, that did so much damage because I got a crit. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I was worrying for nothing. I was worrying for absolutely nothing. Here, well, let's even use the spyglass on him.
Here goes.
Keep in mind, I'm using a cheese strat, and this is safety difficulty, so this is like baby mode. Adversary. When targeted by a skill that inflicts ailment, counter with a severe almighty attack. Oh, but how come we didn't do it to Cleopatra? And she got the charm off on him. Megiddo Arc. Medium to severe almighty attack to one foe. Damage increases based on number of foes. Makatsuhi Plunder. Drain HP from one ally. Users' affinity resistances, skills, and Makatsui skills will change depending on the drained ally. Hashik Arts, Trisagion, Megidolon, Abyssal Mask. Oh, we still have Luster Candy up, and he's... Oh no, his stat debuff faded.
How about this?
Here, Okay, wow, safety difficulties really, really easy. I feel almost bad, but I don't. Oh, I should have brought up the Demi-Fiend. I should have brought up the Demi-Fiend. I can still do it, though.
Your turn. Go!
Actually, I might even kill him before the Demi-Fiend gets to do anything. Not today, Satan!
Indeed.
Will you use this power for creation or destruction? Ooh, Boon Boost EX. Kneelest thou before the might of mine art? Very well, you have proven yourself. Where will your path lead you? What influence will you have on the system? I am admittedly curious to see how it all unfold. But if you seek my aid, you cannot stop with this world. Strive for even greater potential. Walk the path of the God-born and pursue new power. Okay, manifest your will. When the fate of this world is decided, the God-born path will be revealed. Primal Talisman. Allies of the Primal race can now use Impaler's Glory. Greatly increase the damage of the next attack of all allies and adds Pierce effect. I think this is for him. Oh, Primal Satan, yeah. Moral Transcendence. Okay. I mean, I feel kind of bad about cheesing it, but also that felt really good. Again, maybe in the future I'll fight him for real. It'll probably be really tough. But that'll be for the future. Oh, does that mean I can just keep fighting him? Okay, so you can just keep fighting him. Okay, I was afraid that maybe he would fade away afterwards. That's why I made the other save file. Okay, let's look at our goodies. We'll put the protagonists all in the party. Actually, maybe I'll put Fion in the party. He's one of my favorite demons. Let's look at our new miracle. And then let's fuse Satan.
Oh. Welcome to the world.
Moral Transcendence. This costs 999 glory. Extends the level cap for the Nahobino and his allies to 150. Beautiful. So that's for if you want to take on this game again in like hard mode. Or like ultra hard mode. Where all the enemies also go up to level 150. Oh, I can't fuse Satan. Why? Oh, because I need to fuse Mastema. Which means I can't fuse him until I get a New Game Plus. Oh, and because I need to fuse Lucifer as well. Who's also from a New Game Plus. Okay, so I can't actually fuse Satan yet. That's unfortunate, I kind of want to try using him. Oh well. We did get his essence though. Why do these eyes look so weird in this artwork of him? Unique Megiddo Arc. So I don't think anyone else can learn Megiddo Arc. Akashic Arts, Trisagion, High Almighty Pleroma. So he's actually not really useful as a essence. Oh, maybe he's got some interesting affinities. Oh no, he just absorbs 3 resist physical. Okay. Yeah, him having like pupils and irises makes it a little uncanny. He was cooler when he didn't have that.
Return.
You are absolutely correct. Oh, I didn't register. Actually, we should register after we talk to them in the Demon Haunt. Just in case someone decides to give themselves a stat up. Oh, I wanted Satan in my party. And I'll let you hoard all the fun. I'm gonna power up and show you the truth might of a mischievous frost ho. It's so hard to read his text when he puts the he and the ho in the middle of words. We need to liven up in he ho. Let's invite my fans ho. Oh wait, oh no, this is the netherworld, so there's no he humans ho. I like how we match now too. Wait, you have new dialogue? So this is how it goes, huh? You come here with your demons for a little chat? Well, too bad, he's not much of a talker. Don't expect to get much out of him. But don't worry, it's not like he hates you or anything. Actually, after you showed him how strong you are, he might even have taken a shine to you. Someone made a YouTube video compiling all the Demon Haunt dialogue you can get with Demi-Fiend. Hi Timbit, thanks for stopping by and thanks again for the raid. Hope you have a good rest. I just want to talk to the Demi-Fiend again and see if he has new dialogue. I won't exhaust it. He probably has a lot. Or a lot more than we think. Who is your first demon ally? Let me guess, a pixie? Yeah, his first demon ally was a pixie too. In fact, you're talking to her. Without me, he would have died a long time ago. The fact that you're still alive is probably thanks to your pixie too, so you better be grateful. Uriel wants to talk to me. My role has ever been a bearer of fire, yet there was a time I also stood as an emissary of water. Know you of the great flood that once washed over the earth? 'Twas I who warned Noah of its coming.
Yes.
Open your eyes and look at the world. Gaze upon it and see the truth of what it is now. Do so and you will see anew how the world to come should be. I like lost my train of thought in the middle of reading that. Do you still dally? Are we yet to leave? My flesh calls for blood and battle. Alas, it seems I am but a demon after all. It'd be cool if Shiva had like a special thing with Vishnu, like a special Magatsui skill. Oh, Demi-Fiend doesn't have anything new to say.
Welcome. Are you... Return when you...
Oh, no, I keep pressing the wrong thing. I didn't mean to go back.
Welcome. Return.
Okay, and there we have it. Now we have officially done all the content in this game on the routes that we have chosen. So the only thing we haven't seen is the Vengeance Chaos ending, which by extension means the Massima boss fight. And we also haven't seen the Masakato boss fight, which is on Canon of Creation, or Super Masakato, who's on Canon of Creation after going through Vengeance with getting his sword. I think that's pretty good for covering almost everything in the game. But as you can see, there's a lot more to it. You can refight Satan and the Demi-Fiend, you can try higher difficulties, you can raise the level cap to 150, you can fuse Satan and Mastema and Lucifer as well. This has a lot of content, and if you really enjoy this game, you can basically just keep replaying it and going through and discovering new things. And of course, the cheese strategy I used only works on safety and maybe easy difficulty, but I'm pretty sure at least for Demi-Fiend it doesn't work on normal. So people have found ways to one-shot him, even on hard mode though, but it requires a lot of setup. I saw a setup where someone uses like a team of like lower level demons, but then they use a Magatsuhi skill from like Naho Biho, and then they swap out a bunch of demons during their turn constantly without consuming press icons, and then they ultra buff their demon using a skill and then they attack. Like, there's a bunch of different ways that people can creatively go around these boss fights and make them easier, but require a lot of extra setup and planning. So I think that is also part of the fun of the game. And people that like theory crafting and stuff like that too would probably have a ball with this. So again, I really do recommend this game. I really think it's fun. I think if you've played base SMT5, it's not really worth buying Vengeance at full price. But if you've never experienced SMT5, Vengeance is a great way to get into it. If you've never experienced SMT in general, Vengeance is a great entry point into the game. The story still kind of suffers a little bit. I wish the characters had a little bit more development. I wish they did something different with the Vengeance route that made it more unique than the Creation route. But alas, SMT has never really... Well, I don't want to say SMT has never really been about the story, but it's never really been about, like, the character-driven story, I guess is more accurate. Lore building and, like, the intricacies of the world and the parallel universes and stuff has always been a part of it. And it has a lot of interesting lore and intrigue, but there's a lot of little plot holes here and there too, if you think about them too hard. Depends what you're looking for, I guess. But I guess for now, I'll be putting down this game for good. And it's been fun. We've played through all of base SMT and Vengeance on stream. All the videos are archived on YouTube. Maybe I'll come back to this game one day and fight Satan for real on normal difficulty with like a regular strategy, but it was, at least I'm glad we got to see what happens when we get through it and beat him. Because even though I had a lot of fun, the first time I beat the Demi-Fiend and Shiva were probably some of the funnest fights I've ever done in video games, up there with like some of the Octopath Superbosses as well. And they're both turn-based games. Funny that, huh? Alright. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on my journey in SMT5. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. We will be returning to Unicorn Overlord and playing more of that and hopefully finish it soon. I already kind of planned out how we're going to go about that as well. Alright, stick around for a raid. We're going to raid Shin. He's playing some Honkai Star Rail. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for some Unicorn Overlord. Take care, guys. Bye, froggy friends.